All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Flash Fried. We have to watch the Star Wars trailer because Scotty's making us.
I don't want to watch this trailer.
Why not?
I don't want to watch this
Can
trailer.
we just take a minute? Can I just take a minute to just marvel once again at how poorly this IP was handled?
Oh, my God, dude.
So here's the thing. And it's just insane to me that something that's this expensive would be handled in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So J.J. Abrams made the first movie. And not only did he make the first movie, he had outlines for what the entire trilogy was going to be, right? So there was a vision.
Like a cohesive
Right.
structure
Yes.
to get us
Right.
from one place to the next.
Correct.
Yeah, he had the whole trilogy mapped out. So
Kind
then
of like
Ryan,
Lucas did at the
Right.
beginning as well.
Exactly.
For the prequels as well.
Right.
Yeah, they knew where they were going with
Ryan Johnson comes in to direct The Last Jedi. He totally throws all that out and just makes his own thing. And how do you, like, with a multi-billion-dollar franchise, how do you let just one dude come in and just say, nope, I'm in charge of Star Wars now. Fuck this vision that you guys have going. I'm going to change it up all up. Rey's parents are nobody. Luke Skywalker tosses the lightsaber over his fucking back. He's like, I don't want to be a Jedi. Fuck this. Let him have total leeway. And now you have to bring back J.J. Abrams to try to, like,
Salvage his vision.
Yeah.
I think what the studio
it's ridiculous.
I think what they thought was if that they let him reinvent the wheel, people were just going to be like, brilliant! He's taking Star Wars in a new direction. Instead, it was like, blah, what? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I have to admire on some level the audacity of it, but I hate that movie. I don't think it works on even.
I don't think any of them.
No.
I don't think any of the movies outside of the original trilogy have worked.
Yeah. I do have high hopes for that Mandalorian show though, because it takes a totally.
I mean, it
different
had
angle.
a slick ass fucking trailer. I'll give it
It
that.
definitely did.
But
We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know how much fucking hope I have for it. I really hate these movies, and I was talking to you guys before we started this shit about how I've seen every one of these Star Wars movies. I was too young to see the original trilogy in the fucking theaters, but all of the prequels I've gone, while it was released,
Yeah, the
or on
re-releases.
release night.
Yeah.
I went and saw all the re-releases.
Same.
I went and I've seen all of these fucking subsequent sequels in the theaters, and this one I'm really tempted to just wait it out and see it when it comes out on VOD somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't even feel like going and doing the theater experience for this one. I'm so disheartened by what I've seen.
Maybe, Paul. Maybe this trailer will change
let's take a
your
look.
mind. Let's take a look.
I doubt it, but let's look. Get those feelings.
It's an instinct.
Yeah, my instinct is this is going to suck. You're right. There's an instinct involved in this, and just from the first few frames of this, I already hate it.
Come on, Paul, give it a chance.
I got
Why
an
do you
instinct.
hate it, Paul? What's wrong with those frames?
It has Rey in it,
Okay.
a character
You know
which
what?
has never been established to be anything other than a
So
big fat
basically,
Mary Sue.
This is a sexist thing, is
It
basically what you're
is.
saying.
GJ, let's
No.
play more. Let's play more.
This is a they gave me a literal vanilla wafer of a character to deal with here.
I have to agree with that.
I cannot believe you guys are saying
The
this.
feeling. The force brought us together.
And then there's this dude.
Another vanilla. Well, I'm sorry, a chocolate wafer.
Chocolate wafer.
Yeah. Hey, it's a
A
chocolate
little better
wafer.
than a vanilla wafer, at least.
Yeah,
We're
slightly.
not alone. Good people
don't
will
like
fight
wafers.
if we lead them.
It's Poe.
Oh God,
People
man!
keep telling me they know me.
Just big CG spectacle shots.
Yeah.
Yay, more CG bullshit. Yay, no more character development. Yay, same bland dynamic between the characters. Yay.
Does Daisy Ridley think this is acting? Because it's like, it seems to be a lot of her acting is this.
No, I don't know if that's her fault or just this script's fault that has never given this character anything meaty to bite into at all.
It's the screenwriter's fault.
It's just a fucking bland. It's like a fucking fanfic that's trying to make a Luke Skywalker character but doesn't flesh it out with any fucking desire or humanity or believable backstory or relatable fucking character qualities. It's just a big jar of fucking mayonnaise, dude. What am I supposed to do with it? How am I supposed to, as a fucking fan of this universe, how am I supposed to get into this?
Shut up
Where's
and eat
my
it.
entry point into this fucking bland bullshit?
It's Star Wars, Paul. Eat your
sucks.
Star Wars gruel. Eat your Star Wars
sucks,
gruel and
man.
you'll like it.
Patented Disney Star Wars.
Because you want to know why? You want to know why, Paul? It doesn't fucking matter. Because you know what? They know your ass is going to be going, this sucks. But you know what a bunch of little kids are going to be doing?
Why does every generation need their Star Wars? Why can't they get their whatever else? Why can't, like,
I don't know.
why this?
Because we're lazy and we're out of ideas, and this is just
No
easier.
one does.
But I do.
They're gonna fight again.
Terrible villain.
They're gonna fight again, y'all.
God,
We have a connection. We will fight.
that shot is just so bad.
Can we go back to it?
Yeah, go back to that fucking reveal shot on Kylo Ren. It's just so bad. It doesn't even look badass.
Yeah, just
Doesn't
like
he-
he looks like he's kind of just trudging.
You know what I
like,
mean?
And
And it looks like he's having to hold his breath because they're dumping so much water in his face.
he's like, oh god, this fucking I can't work under these conditions.
I mean, it's just like it's got no style to it. He's never landed as a villain.
Dude, in the beginning of the first Star Wars movie, Darth Vader comes in and it's like, "Burr, burr, burr," and like he immediately has a presence, a commanding presence on the screen. Kylo Ren's just like this dork, like some loser's cosplaying and like shows up.
Lightning bolt.
That's what he feels like. That's what Adam Driver's Kylo Ren feels like. I feel like that some dork wandered onto the set. They're like, yeah, use him.
It just sucks.
Long have I waited,
No,
It's like something out of Game of Thrones.
and now
The Night King coming back.
coming
that would be
together.
preferable. Oh, Chewbacca, why?
Is your undoing.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, why have they dumbed down these lightsaber fights? Because I'll tell you what, if there's one thing that the prequels did, I think that was good in looking at them up against the original trilogy, is that it took the lightsaber fights and made them way more acrobatic and dynamic and stuff.
Choreographed. Yeah.
I really think that lightsaber fight between Darth Maul and
Obi-Wan and
Obi-Wan and
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon, I really do think that that's a good, you know,
I don't know.
That's-
in a vacuum.
That's one of the
cool.
highlights of the movie. I
Look,
agree with you.
I like it, all right, but I feel like the prequels kind of lost some of the visceral, violent nature of a fucking lightsaber duel by making it a little bit too much like a choreographed fucking ballet.
I mean, didn't it earn a little bit back with the best scene in the third of
yeah,
the prequels?
I will admit the lightsaber battle.
Him getting the final
was-
lightsaber
it was-
battle between.
It was cool. I think
have the
I think-
high ground.
I think they struck the right balance there.
So once again, like that's one of the things that worked, and it seems like we've taken a step back, and now the background is what we're supposed to be focusing on, not the actual swords clashing. Like if you go back just a little bit and watch
Yeah.
them at that waterfall.
Yeah, because I mean, my
Tell
eyes.
me what that shot is about.
My eyes were drawn to that big wave behind me.
Right. I mean, look.
Like it's like, oh, what a cool setting. But are they gonna? I mean, I don't know. It depends on if they actually do anything with that setting.
It just seems
Yeah.
like it's a step backwards in something that the series actually progressed on, which was making these lightsaber duels more dynamic and cool, incorporating more use of the Force into them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is your undoing.
It's all just a CG spectacle shots.
I mean, also, there has to be a tacit acknowledgement with this film that Kylo Ren is a failed villain. Because if you have to go bring the Emperor back to try to salvage having some sort of actual shadowy
Well, I'm
villain,
sure. Look,
because they killed Snoke. They built Snoke up. Movie one,
Look,
Snoke's
but
built up.
think about what I just-
Yeah, no, but
yeah.
I'm saying this. They built Snoke up in
Right.
The Force Awakens. The Last Jedi unceremoniously killed. Then it's like, who's the villain in the third one?
well, hold on though. I mean, like I said at the beginning of this, though, J.J. Abrams had a fucking plan for all the shit he introduced in the first movie. Now, maybe it wasn't a good plan, but it was a coherent vision, I'm sure. But they killed Ryan Johnson, just like, I'm killing Snoke. I don't care about him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So,
That's why it was a massive
obviously-
blunder on Disney's part.
Obviously, J.J. Abrams is probably fucking like, fuck, they killed Snoke. What am I going to do? Oh, okay, I'll have the contrivance that the Emperor survived
And I get that.
to kind of, like, it's this, I mean,
and I
it's
can
like,
see it from that perspective, but why are you salvaging a Star Wars movie? That's the problem here.
I mean, what choice do they even have?
I know.
You know?
Look, I agree to that. I agree. There's no
They
choice.
painted
But
themselves into a fucking
But they
corner.
put themselves in that position by
Absolutely.
not having a fucking someone that coordinating all this shit With all the Marvel movies, they had
there's
someone
a
whose
mastermind.
They
you
had
know?
someone whose job it was just to focus on continuity.
the
they had
problem-
people who they're discussing everything.
Yeah.
They were planning everything, and there was no plan for Star Wars. And this goes back 5 or 6 years when Disney bought the property.
The problem is that it's like Kathleen Kennedy is supposed to be the fucking one with the plan, and she didn't. She just fucking acquiesced to Ryan Johnson.
Isn't she dead now?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Maybe I didn't hear about it if she did. But anyway,
I don't want to fucking give J.J. Abrams a pass because his
Force Awakens.
original Force Awakens entry, I think the reason they went with a different vision was because it was so fucking
the same as
Vanilla.
It was the same.
It was a cup of 2%
retelling
milk.
It was just a retelling of fucking.
And so maybe they wanted to try and jazz it up a little bit, and they didn't succeed in jazzing it up. They just succeeded in muddying the waters of it and making it more fucking confusing and less cohesive as a story. And now they're just kind of desperately going back to J.J. Abrams. But I don't have any trust. I think a good director with a radical vision could save this fucking trilogy with at least a great third movie. I don't think this is it, though. I'm not seeing any of the building blocks of that here.
All right, so let's watch.
Let's finish it.
Let's
out.
keep watching. There's still much more trailer left to go.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
Why would you be their friends?
Yeah, like when was he their friends?
When did you
He's
establish
barely
any kind of fucking emotional connection with any of those people?
All
that
of
you're
your
looking
friends are already dead.
Yeah, they're all dead. All the people that you actually had a backstory with and built up a believable fucking relationship with are fucking dead.
Absolutely.
Taking one last look at my friends.
The fuck, man?
Just keep going. Let's just get it done.
Okay.
This Christmas, prepare for the ultimate disappointment.
Fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
The saga will end.
How they have space horses, dude.
Horses?
The Force will be with you.
Always.
You know what here's the fucking sick thing about this. This trailer, even though I don't like anything I see in it, hits emotional triggers in me because of the music and the presentation and the font.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers, man.
Dude, Disney, it's because you have such nostalgia for the original trilogy that it's hard.
It's not just nostalgia, dude. I have reverie, like a sense of reverence for those movies. Like, I just
Hold on, I want to
love
figure out
them.
what's going on here. What are they smashing there?
They're just, I don't know.
They're working together to smash
Yeah, but
something.
what I'm saying, when you were young and dumb, this shit got hooked into your fucking brain. Yeah, I'm sure there's reverence and love for it. I'm saying that's the nostalgia come out. That's like remembering the good memories of sitting down and watching the original movies over and over and over again. Which I think all of us did.
Oh yeah,
Terrible.
I mean, when they re-released them, like me and TJ were at the theaters. I mean, like I'm sure you were too. You're like, oh, I gotta see it, you gotta see it, and you just loved it and ate it up. And then it's like, oh, we're gonna make the prequels, and everyone was so excited. And then Star Wars just kind of became this negative thing for a while, and then this felt like maybe it's gonna be something good again. Disney's in charge of it. They've done this shit with Marvel. They're gonna fucking be the savior that Lucas fucking crashed and burned. But now we're gonna have something beautiful again. And now we're just at the same spot we were before. It just feels like a cheap fucking play, dude. And you know what? As much as you talk, I guarantee your ass is going to be in the theaters. Maybe it won't be their opening week, Paul, but they're going to hook you back in. Come on, Paul. Come back
I just
in.
don't want to do it this time.
The Force is strong with us, Paul. Your money need to be spent here.
Sucks, man.
You're powerless, dude. You're powerless. You're caught in a fucking machine. You can't stop, dude.
No fucking choice but to just eat the sponge cake in front of me.
Saying, eat the goo, Paul.
Eat the fucking unsweetened sponge cake ahead of you. Just eat it out. All right.
I put all my hopes into Dune.
Oh yeah,
for sci-fi?
Dune is gonna be fucking awesome.
I actually just went to the bookstore and bought Dune.
how sad would you be, Paul, if the trailer came out and it didn't look good?
What, Dune?
Yeah.
everything that they've released, like all the conceptual art is good, and
It looks really
the few
positive.
shots that they've released and the few little teaser things they've released all look good.
If I was a
But if
betting
it looks
man,
like dog shit, I'll call it dog shit.
if I was a betting man, I guarantee you there'll be a Dune trailer, at least a teaser.
But I'm telling you,
before this
dude,
movie.
Denis Villeneuve is doing this Dune thing. And
You mispronounced that. You butchered the name.
No, I got it right this time. The first time I called him Dennis Villanueva.
It's Paul
Fucking
but
French. man.
Villanova.
Dude,
Villanova.
he was able, look what he was able to do with fucking Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful film right there.
Which, you know what? That film, watching the trailers for it, it was kind of like, meh, whatever.
Well, the movie
So the movie-
itself was
not
a
for
fucking
me.
revelation.
So, I mean,
for
I'm
me.
just saying, you can't always tell by a trailer, but I don't know. This
And
one
the
doesn't
only
look very
weakness
good.
in that film is Jared Leto.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean,
they wisely buried him in the
Dude,
plot.
I felt like when they went out like beyond the city and they were like in the wastelands, I'm like, dude, this is what I envision like a Fallout movie.
Well,
being.
just the different fucking tones that it was able to strike, and the different locales that it was able
right.
to, and the use of color and
I
shit.
wasn't going to do this as our first story, but since you mentioned Jared Leto, I feel like I kind of gotta.
Oh no, what happened?
Is he dead?
Shock and disappointment. Jared Leto, or Leto, however it's fucking pronounced, tried to sabotage Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
What?
Wow.
I hope that's just sensational
No.
headline.
Hollywood is certainly a lot like a school playground at times, and here's some more evidence of the low blows going on behind the scenes. After winning the Golden Lion at Venice Film Festival and breaking records at the box office, Todd Phillips' Joker is an obvious target for jealousy, especially that of Jared Leto, who played the Joker in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. He went to a lot of effort to create his version of Batman's enemy, but failed to convince the public and film studios, and he was furious that he appeared for only 10 brief minutes in the final version of the movie. It's a rather sensitive issue for the actor, you could say.
Yeah, because he went all Daniel Day-Lewis on the fucking set of the Suicide
And it
Squad.
didn't work.
And it was just, he's not Daniel Day-Lewis. It didn't his performance didn't pay off. It didn't convince anyone, like, this is the Joker. No one enjoyed the performance.
Rather spitefully, he did everything he could to stop Todd Phillips' project from going ahead, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The magazine contacted several sources close to the project who revealed that the actor complained to his agents at the Cinema Advertising Association, who also represent Todd Phillips, when Warner gave the director the green light. His ego getting the better of him, Leto also asked his music manager, Irving Azoff, to try to stop the project from going ahead. Azoff made no comment on the subject, but the two men are reported to no longer be working together.
Wow.
But his scheming didn't stop there. Some skittish producers who feared that Todd Phillips' version would be too dark offered him a small budget with the idea of frightening him off and encouraging him to withdraw from the project. Meanwhile, it seems that Jared Leto's Joker is truly over. He won't be resuming his role in Birds of Prey, the spin-off movie about Harley Quinn, blah, 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 blah. So Jared Leto, not only did his Joker suck, but he did pretty much everything in his power to stop us from getting the version of the movie that was actually good and the version of the character that's actually good.
The lack of self-awareness on Jared Leto's part.
I mean, it's like
to not know that there's
when
a
you
reason why they cut him down to 10 minutes in the fucking final version of that movie, because it just sucked.
Right.
It was devoid of anything that was recognizably about the Joker. It was terrible. It was just a terrible imagining of the character. And the fact that, like, literally audiences agree, critics agree, the studios clearly agree.
I mean, it's gotta hurt.
And he's like,
when those three fucking groups of people agree, you know that you fucked up.
well, I mean,
Well,
like,
not
but
only that,
he's
but
like
listen.
standing alone on Ego Island, going like, I should have been allowed to be in that movie. You know what I mean? No.
You know what the problem?
Wrong.
The thing about it is, too, from like an actor perspective, when you're looking at a role like the Joker, where you have Jack Nicholson, critically acclaimed, audience beloved performance, Heath Ledger, critically acclaimed, audience
in
beloved
his final
performance.
performance.
By the way, Nicholson's performance, my favorite Joker.
Right. And then you have Jared Leto, who critically flop, audience didn't resonate with it, everyone pretty much hated it. And then all of a sudden you have-
I've seen literally, I've never run into somebody that makes apologies for that.
And then you
fucking
have
Joker
Joaquin
performance.
Phoenix,
No.
who, I mean, there was some of the critics didn't like it, but definitely huge audience popularity.
Which
And-
is really the most important in
Right.
that trifecta. It's
And-
like the people that you made this to entertain, what did they think of it?
Right. And
Right?
people loved it. So obviously it kind of hurts to be the one, think of yourself as this serious actor who is super into this role, that everybody fucking hates the role. Everybody hates what you did with it.
You know, maybe instead of doing that, maybe instead of trying to
But, you know,
stop-
like, you got to fucking admit to yourself at some point, I fucked up. I failed.
Exactly.
Do you gotta, though?
I guess not if you're
If
Jared
you're
Leto.
Jared Leto,
No.
do you really gotta?
You ain't
No.
gotta, actually.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have to.
But he should.
But he should.
He should. I think we all agree. I think everybody that we're talking about agrees with that, but
like,
he ain't gotta.
And he's not. Here's the
He's
thing
not
about
gonna.
about Jared Leto. He's not a bad actor. He just didn't. He wasn't a good fit for the Joker.
I don't know.
I don't know.
if
He might,
I agree
he
with
might
that.
be a bad actor,
Well,
honestly.
here's the thing.
He's pulled off some roles that he was good in, I think.
Like the one role that I think of when I think of a great Jared Leto performance is what the fuck is that movie called? Requiem for a Dream. He's in that movie. He's good. He's not the best thing about the movie,
No, I would agree with that.
but he's the role is decent. But every like modern example of a Jared Leto performance has been awful. So I don't know if I get to call him like a good actor. I think he just lucked his way into a role that he was able to kind of sleepwalk through, and ended up having a great editor and a great director that was able to get a great fucking performance out of him. Because, like, dude, he was awful in fucking Blade Runner. He was awful in this. I can't even remember another Leto performance outside of
Well,
this.
a lot of people. He got a lot of accolades for Dallas Buyers Club, didn't he? Did he win an Oscar?
I
or
didn't
was,
see
he was,
it.
He was nominated for one.
I didn't see it, so I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
I've never seen Dallas Buyers.
Maybe
Club,
I need to
so.
give him a more fair shake because I've only seen him.
And maybe you
really
can
in
say
two. I've seen the only two Jared Leto performances I can even remember seeing are his Joker turn, which obviously was awful.
Well, yeah, I agreed.
And his Blade Runner 2049
Awful.
turn, which I also think was awful, and awful for similar reasons, by the way.
Yeah. Just overacted, overconceptualized, aloof, kind of just empty villains
Yeah.
with no like believable kind of expressiveness about them.
Maybe he's just better off not doing the villain roles.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his weakness as an actor. Maybe it's his Achilles.
I don't
heel.
know. I don't think he's maybe. So Bronx residents are warning tourists to stay away from Joker stairs. So obviously these stairs are now famous, which I guess is frustrating residents. According to the Daily Mail, the staircase is loaded. Give people a location. You know, that'll keep them away. Located at 167th Street in the High Bridge section of the Bronx, and became an instant fan favorite after Joaquin Phoenix Joker danced down the stairs in the most famous scene of the film. I don't know if that's really the most famous scene, but whatever. Usually tourists flock to certain areas of the Bronx to visit the New York Botanical Gardens, the Bronx Zoo, and Yankee Stadium, but now the staircase has been added to the list. Instagram influencers and cosplayers have dressed up as Joker to recreate the staircase scene since Halloween is almost a week and a half away. However, some Bronx residents are warning visitors to stay away from
read
the
that
Joker
quote.
stairs. Them stairs ain't nothing but an Why am I giving the
I
New
don't know.
Yorker a fucking
Yeah.
country accent? I think it's because they start
like
their
it.
sentence with them stairs ain't.
Them stairs ain't nothing but an asthma attack and a swift robbery setup. But you know, welcome to the South Bronx.
There you go.
Yeah, them stairs ain't nothing but an asthma attack, you know?
Yeah, that's racist, TJ.
Asthma. Desus Nice of the comedy duo Desus and Mero said on Twitter that Bronxites should be able to profit off the stairs' newfound fame.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how's that?
Yeah, yeah.
Legally, as a Bronx resident, you're allowed and encouraged to tax anyone visiting the Joker stairs. Okay.
Tax them.
The Joker stair tax. The movie continues to dominate the box office, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I saw
I don't know.
an article about this
I'm
earlier,
wondering
and I
what-
saw some of these pictures that people are taking, and man,
Yeah.
it's cringe-topia over there. So I don't really blame people in the Bronx for being a little upset, because, like, dude, if you can find some of them, they're fucking awful. These influencers are like, look at the one that they picked there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of the better ones that I've seen.
Right.
They're just awful. It's like fat, sweaty dudes trying to look like they're gracefully dancing down the stairs and putting it on Instagram. Dorks.
That sounds kind
Dudes
of
in
amusing.
skinny jeans and fedoras doing it. I mean, I'd be fucking annoyed if those type of people were suddenly swarming my neighborhood too.
You know what though? Maybe in the end, when we get a fat neckbeard to fall down the stairs and break his neck.
Look at these fucking empty-headed influencers too. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a piece of that pie. I'm gonna be cool like that scene in the movie. No, you're not. Just stay home.
Yeah, I like the Joker.
Support for Trump impeachment rises as 59% say he pursued personal interests in Ukraine. Poll
More
finds.
lies by the mainstream media. TJ.
Yeah, fake news.
Fake news.
Why are we even covering this, TJ?
I don't know. I just like fake news.
So, support for the so-called impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump's dealings in Ukraine continue to grow, as does support for his removal from office. Bullshit. A Quinnipiac University poll released Wednesday found, even though it lies, a 55% majority, I should be in quotations, by the way, of registered voters, so-called voters, said they approved of the inquiry. Well, 43% said they disapproved. God damn it, TJ, what the fuck do you want?
I want the damn lighter.
A week ago, 51% of voters said they approved and 45% disapproved. This should just tell you the public doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Quinnipiac has found support for the inquiry to be as low as 50% range since it announced at the end of September.
Well, I didn't take part in the poll, but I'm 100% behind. Dude, this impeachment shit, it's like the best political soap opera I've ever had in my life. You know what I mean? I thought, Blowjob Gate was going to be it when I was a teenager and shit. I thought, man, dude, no, there's never going to be a presidency that tops this one. There's never going to be a better season of the President Show than this one.
This time on the presidency.
And you were wrong.
Oh, dude, I was dead ass wrong.
Chauncey, by the way, is getting a blowjob behind me, guys, so kind of
Cool.
keep it down a little bit.
Dude, the amount of butt hurt
got a
that's
boner.
happening on both sides, I just love it. I love the turmoil of it. Like, from an observer's perspective.
Did you hear about the Republicans stormed into one of the hearings?
Oh, yeah.
That's like their latest thing. It's like, oh, dude, the drama just thickens. We're going to go in there.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, so at first I read them all, I'm like, oh, so Republicans haven't been allowed in. Then it's like, well, no, there have been Republicans allowed in there. It's like, oh, so.
Yeah, there's Republicans
it's
that sit on these fucking
just,
committees.
yeah, so it's a publicity stunt. Okay, gotcha, great.
So it's a total fucking, it's a total
It's a Fox
stunt.
News moment. And
Well,
look at the Republicans holding the
happened-
Democrats accountable.
It happened today, which I think yesterday late, Trump was tweeting like, Republicans better start fighting these impeachment hearings harder. Then we need to start fighting back. And then today, like 12 of these dorks kick down the door and swarm the fucking hearings and shit. It's just, I don't know, man. I can't believe it's happening. Every day is
That
like
may
a
be
new-
why we now have a poll that says 7 in 10 say U.S. on edge.
Yet again, why you don't
of
trust
civil war.
Why you don't trust polls in America, dude? What if these fucking fat, lazy, complacent people is going to take up arms? And who are they going to
Somebody's
fight?
going to do it, though.
Yeah, someone's going to fight against them.
Somewhere. They going to do it.
Who are they going to be fighting against? Where?
And then once all the infrastructure is in place for a split, I'll be on one side or the other at that point.
The majority of Americans believe that we are 2/3 of the way to being on the edge of civil war.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Let's see. Let's look at the findings here.
They agree that we're on the edge of a civil war.
Highlighting findings that show voters angered with compromise and growing unfavorable favorability ratings of Donald Trump and most 2020 presidential candidates. He said the poll paints a scenario, a picture of a highly negative campaign that will continue to exacerbate the incivility in our public discourse. He added, it will be sort of a race to the bottom or has the potential to be a race to the bottom.
And you know what? And the media always exempts itself in this. Like, they're not the ones cheering this shit on when they release bullshit like this. Like, we're on the edge of civil war, but it's all Trump, or it's all people arguing politically. It's like, no. It's you guys cheering this shit on. It's social media. It's all these cancers in our society now that make people believe that everyone hates each other and everyone just wants to fight and everyone's upset. It's like, no, it's all bullshit. It's all... It's just strange to me now that we live in a fucking culture where everyone takes all their cues from this fucking place, these places on the internet, and it's totally devoid of any real impression of what's actually going on in the world. And it's all a bunch of bullshit, and it's all people being outraged by stupid, trivial shit, while the fucking goddamn planet is on fucking fire.
So let me ask you this, though, Scotty. What's your Civil War survival strategy?
If it actually happens...
Yeah, like if it actually breaks out, if it pops off and it's like, boom, Civil War 2, what you gonna do?
I'm going to a fucking island, dude.
To an island?
Yeah, dude, I'm leaving all these people behind.
Which island? Cuba?
I don't know. I'll find an island. I'm going to this island. I'm going to live out the rest of my days as a fucking hermit.
Maybe the U.S. does need to go to war with Canada, Scotty. I've been thinking about it. Maybe we need to take out this Civil War aggression by just conquering our neighbors to the north, you know?
Hey, look, dude, Canada has a lot of decent infrastructure and shit in place already.
Yeah, and we
a lot
can kind of
less
like,
work.
we can kind of just like,
Better than ours, probably.
yeah, it's like,
in some cases, yes.
we don't want to fix our infrastructure. We'll just take Canada's
And
Look,
make it shitty.
And guys,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
pretty much instantly because they're...
It's not going to be a super bloody conflict. Like I told you, we're just going to go over there. We're going to be like, look, Trudeau, just walk off the stage. We're putting Trump on the stage now. And he's gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, wait a minute. No, sir, please leave."
Trudeau would just put on orange face and be like, "I'm Trump." And the Republican Party would look from one to the other and be like, "I can't tell the difference.
Which one is
What
which?
happened?
What happened?"
Pick the one on the left.
It's a doppelganger.
So yeah, my strategy personally is I'm gonna go to Mexico.
Oh, yeah?
You know why? Because apparently there's talk of doing what I've always advocated for,
Okay.
which is the legalization of drugs. They need
Okay.
to do it. Do it. I hate when a former president says some shit like this, too.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
It's like they say it when they're out of power, you know? Legalization of drugs is the way to combat cartels, former Mexican president says. Let's see if we can find his exact quote in here somewhere. Mexico's Senate is expected to vote in favor of a bill to legalize the recreational use of marijuana in the coming days in a bid to choke off a black market dominated by violent gangs. Several Mexican Senate committees tabled draft legislation on Thursday to make the commercial production and sale of marijuana legal, expanding on a Supreme Court decision last year which deemed the country's ban on personal cannabis consumption and cultivation unconstitutional. Current President Andres Manuel Lopez, or why do you have so many names? Obrador, I guess,
Yep.
Obrador
has also been critical of Mexico's protracted drug war and signaled openness to a new approach. Since leaving office in late 2006, Fox has been a vocal advocate for the legalization of medicinal and recreational marijuana and blah, 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 blah. Well, what about all drugs? The headline says all drugs. I want you to legalize them all. Why is it always just got to be marijuana? Why can't we just make everything fucking legal already?
So if you go down,
I mean, the same, like if
So-
you
so
buy...
I'm saying if you want to read his quote, it's
Okay.
right. It's right there.
Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Watching that example, we see that in a natural way, the old illegal underground activities start to disappear by themselves because now they don't have a market. The market is taken by the new situation, the new products, the new corporations being provided. If you go to Washington State or Seattle, you see today many of the old places that we used to look that were underground providing product to consumers. Now they have formed part of a new industry that is legal. Now, instead of committing crimes by distributing drugs, they do it as a businessman, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so my thing is, like, if you buy that logic for weed, how can you possibly not buy it for other drugs? Like, what's the fucking difference? I mean, I understand there's different, like, not every drug is the same, but, like, obviously these other recreational drugs that people are using are, by and large,
It's the social
no more
stigma
harmful.
around those drugs.
They're no more harmful than marijuana is, for the most part.
You know,
I mean, some of them obviously some of them are harmful.
I've done some thinking
But-
about this recently,
Yeah.
and I don't think I don't know if I was ever a supporter of full legalization across the board for every fucking type of drug. But now I don't even think I'm a supporter of that kind of thought anymore, because it would have to come with so many provisions that reinvest in mental health care in this country and treatment facilities, like all of that tax money that was gained from the open and legalized market for like heroin and meth and shit would have to go directly back into shit that would pour money into those communities and help them fight the scourge of it. And if that doesn't happen, then you're just inviting your society to kill itself, basically.
I feel like we already are in the midst of a scourge, and the money's not going anywhere. It's the only place the money's going right now is to fund black market
No, I agree.
criminal activities.
Well, not only that, but failed law enforcement attempts as
Right.
well. Just
So, I mean, like-
constant over policing of the fucking population.
People want to do drugs.
Clearly.
No, I agree with that. I just don't agree with just dropping the bomb that is legalized store-bought drugs onto a society without a massive reinvestment in mental health care
I mean-
facilities and treatment programs and
I think-
I mean,
I think we should,
family.
like,
We've
court
already seen that-
We'll look at
like,
we'll look at countries like Portugal that have decriminalized a lot of these drugs,
Right.
And they make you go to
I'm
a
for
class.
that.
I think that's probably a better stopgap, and like Paul said, and looking at these addiction thing, and like don't make it a law enforcement issue, make it a mental health issue, and make it a fucking healthcare issue.
It's a
because-
public health issue.
Yeah, it's really a public health issue, if anything.
The thing about decriminalizing, though, is you're not going to do anything about those black markets selling this shit. The money is still going to go to fund criminal enterprises.
Sure, but
You know, why not tax that? Why not tax the sale of drugs like we tax the sale of everything else that people fucking buy and reinvest it
but-
into fucking
and
communities
the,
and shit?
The studies they've done in those communities, people are less likely to use drugs.
Right. Well, I think people would be less likely to use drugs if they were legal too.
I mean, maybe not.
I don't know about that.
I mean, certain drugs.
I could see
sure.
I could see arguments both ways. I have a feeling that there's a lot of people that would jump on the bandwagon with a lot of different types of drugs if you could just walk in and get them.
I mean, obviously, people are going to do it. I'm not saying that, but like, I don't think people are going to go do fucking crocodile or something.
Probably not.
But
when
you'd
they
have
can
to
go buy
legalize
the heroin.
What if they wanted to do it though?
Then let them do it. I mean,
who's gonna supply it though? The black market, or are you gonna have government stores selling crocodile?
Well, I mean, there probably wouldn't be enough demand for the stores to even bother carrying something like that. So yeah, I guess that would still happen through the black market transaction. But it wouldn't be necessarily a black market. It just have to be like a direct from supplier kind of
There's
thing.
always going to be some sort of a black market because not everything's going to be legal.
I mean, so I don't even know.
I mean, the total abolition of a black market is almost a fantasy.
People wreak havoc on their families because of these drugs.
Right, but they're still doing that even when they're illegal. And in fact, I feel like the stigmatization of it being illegal a lot of times prevents people from going to get help because they're afraid of legal reprisal for their addiction.
Well, with decriminalization,
I agree with decriminalization.
Right.
You could definitely still get people.
That would still solve that problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the greatest ill of drugs is what it does. Yeah, what it does to families and what it does to people themselves, and being the throes of addiction. And if you could treat that issue, I think you'd be a lot more successful as a society getting people off these drugs.
But treating that issue is so fucking deep. It goes it could go as deep as you want it to go.
Well, that's why
it's not just a one.
That's why we need
throw money at the problem.
Well, that's why we
issue.
need universal health care. That's number one.
Universal health care.
It's
we
a
need
big
a
component.
complete reimagining of public education.
Oh yeah.
From the bottom up to produce people that are capable of participating in a society, that has that type of fucking new impetus on its fucking people to be smart about using drugs. So if you're just churning out a bunch of depressed, unengaged teenagers, I don't think you can just legalize heroin and say, yeah, go out and kill yourselves. You know what I mean? It's just fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, well, I could
because most of these teenagers, I got to be honest with you, can't find fucking heroin.
Right.
It's not a simple thing finding somebody. I mean, some people can do it and some people can't.
I remember when I was in school, it seemed like there was pretty much any drug that I could get if I really wanted it.
Well, yeah, me too. But
if there's a will,
not
there's
everybody
a way.
knew the people I knew.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There was a whole subclass of students that couldn't go to the store and get heroin.
When I say legalized drugs, I don't mean like any fucking teenager can walk into the store and buy it. I mean, I understand that they're still going to find ways to get it. Don't get me wrong. Just the same way they find ways to get alcohol and cigarettes and all the other things.
Hey, I'll give you $50 if you go buy me some heroin.
I mean, when we're talking,
but they still have to make that connection and stuff. It's not going to be as easy as you just saunter into the store and like I'm 12 years old. Give me my fucking heroin fix.
Well, no, but I mean, 18, what 21,
and
what's the age limit on
maybe
legalized crack?
I don't know. Whatever probably 18 or something.
Probably 21 if you're being honest.
Whatever. But maybe it prevents some suicides. We got a suicide epidemic right now. Maybe it's better that the kid gets addicted to heroin than
maybe
kills
it would
himself.
cause some suicides as people know how easy it is to overdose on this shit.
That's true.
A lot of people do OD from this, but I don't think that they're ODing from it because they're simply because they're wanting to do the drug. I think they're doing the drug because of the other issues they have in their lives. If you look at what addiction is, it usually stems from past traumas and
self-medication of trauma.
Yeah, they're dealing with something else. It's not just saying, "Hey, I want to go OD on heroin." No, there's people like that in the world. I've met them, but I don't think the majority of addicts are like that.
It's an interesting conversation, but we do have a lot more stories to go through, so we should probably move on. New Mexico officer resigns after excessive force on 11-year-old girl who allegedly took too much milk.
Oh my God, take her the fuck down.
Yeah,
she took too much milk? Excuse me, 11-year-old?
Is this a video of it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at this obviously despicable video.
Can't push him out of the way.
Yeah, punish the student. Does she need to be manhandled?
Take your bag off. Take your bag off. You're done. You're done. You're done.
You're done.
You're done. You are done. Get
Okay.
off me.
Why are you doing this with a kid? Obviously, the kid's walking away, but that's what kids do.
Assault the principal.
Assault the principal?
Where did did it happen before?
Put your arms behind your back.
I think they're talking about
pushing him out of the way, right? Like, which she
Hold
didn't
on.
even. She applied no kind of fucking.
He wasn't hurt.
Let's see. This is the assault, I think.
Push him out of the way.
She didn't even touch him.
That's inappropriate, but that's not assault.
I didn't even see her make contact.
Well, no, his hand was in the way, trying to stop her, and then she just pushed the door open anyways. But that's not really like.
That's not. Well, that's not an assault.
This is an assault. What is this guy doing? What is this guy's problem? She's 11. She's big. I'll give her that, but she does not have a fully developed brain to understand the consequence of what she's doing.
There was really no way to de-escalate this situation.
I mean, if she was swinging at him and fighting him, that'd be one thing, but she's sobbing.
Not going to use excessive force to get this done.
We're not excessive.
We're not excessive.
We're not excessive. I disagree.
It is excessive
What an
force.
idiot.
She's 11.
Oh my
I
God!
mean, yeah,
What a country!
Kids act this way. If you've been around kids, kids don't always make the right decisions. Like, you can't slam them into the
All
ground.
right, let's see. A New Mexico police officer resigned earlier this month after body camera footage. Blah blah blah. We know. We saw it. Okay. I want to know what's the backstory behind this. Someone watching the incident unfold tells the officer to stop and says he's using excessive force.
They're right.
The child suffered a concussion and has arm and shoulder pain due to the incident. Christensen reportedly said he tried to arrest the girl because that morning she went straight to the cafeteria. She took more milks than she was supposed to. She threw a milk on the ground. I mean,
Maybe
they try to say something. She just walks off.
Okay, give her in-school suspension. Don't allow her in the cafeteria.
I mean, like, what happened to all? Like, I remember there being disciplinary measures for that kind of thing when I was going to school, beyond just like the police come and beat the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to like detention and shit?
If she doesn't listen, then suspend her and go talk to her parents. Say until she can follow the school's rules, she can't come back.
I mean, this is the result of these school shootings. Campuses across this fucking country have been militarized. I was watching a fucking video about it. They're building these new high school campuses with walls for counterterrorism teams to hide behind and shoot down the hallways and shit. They're building them more and more like prison environments.
That's
with open environments that have very little low cover, that are easily fucking counter-assaultable. So our whole fucking school system, as a result of this fucking unaddressed school shooting problem, has been militarized to the point where an 11-year-old girl throwing a milk on the ground results in a beating from a police officer.
It's now a police issue. A police issue for an 11-year-old.
The police should never have been involved at any level in this.
Absolutely retarded.
There shouldn't have been a police officer on campus that day unless there was a fucking need. Unless there was an assault or a gun on campus or something. There shouldn't have been a fucking cop in the hallway.
Here's the thing. A lot of schools have resource officers, but most of those resource officers are never supposed to be involved in something unless something crazy happens. Like you said, like
some violence is going down.
If that girl took a brick to somebody's head or something, and the cops trying to arrest her, that's one thing. She took some milk. She's 11. She made a bad decision.
She's 11 years old.
She doesn't deserve to be fucking slammed to the ground by officer fucking dipshit there.
You know, like 8 fucking years ago or so, 6 years ago, when I was working at these kind of middle school environments, there were no fucking cops anywhere near the campus. What's with the sudden need to have some flatfoot standing around every fucking campus to tackle 11-year-old girls who spill their milk? What is this?
It's a farce. And we have a related story, similar kind of thing. I don't know.
Wonderful.
I haven't looked into the details of this yet, so I don't know exactly what the story is.
Maybe the article will provide some context.
I'm sure it will, Paul. That's what it's there for.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what the story
Phoenix
was.
officer to be fired for pulling gun on parents over doll taken by 4-year-old.
Yeah, the 4-year-old took a doll from a store, and the cops basically said they were going to waste the family or something, or kill someone.
Waste them?
Waste
It
them?
was something. It was a crazy video. Like, don't quote me on that. But he threatened the family over.
Let's watch this video.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's gonna.
We
have to watch a commercial for Amazon first.
Yeah, great.
I could skip it. There we go. Fuck you, Amazon.
It's an insane video. The police obviously overacting.
Get out the car!
With guns drawn, watch as an officer points directly at the SUV. Inside, Aisha Harper, pregnant with her 2 daughters.
Put your hands up. Hands up.
I can't put my hands up.
Her fiancé, Drayvon Ames, handcuffed.
Whoa. Over a doll?
Yep.
The
That a
incident
4-year-old
in May
took.
because their 4-year-old daughter stole a doll from a nearby dollar
Yeah,
store.
because a 4-year-old knows what she's doing, right?
They never mentioned the doll. They automatically came straight to us for like force.
They're terrorizing my family, and I just felt hopeless and defenseless.
The family now planning to sue the
wouldn't feel
Phoenix
that way?
Police Department
Good.
for $10 million,
I hope they win.
claiming the
Give him the
officer
fucking
used
money.
excessive
Oh
force.
yeah, what was that for? Oh, to make sure he's complying?
If I was on that jury, I'd come back with some crazy shit. Like, no, I'm not gonna approve this $10 million claim. I want to award you $100 million from the fucking police
because a
department.
4-year-old
I want to bankrupt the city's fucking police department to fucking pay you.
Because a 4-year-old stole. Let's put that in like a 4-year-old doesn't understand that that's stealing.
Dude, like, remember when we used to steal shit when we were kids? It was no big deal. Obviously you don't want to
encourage this.
Yeah, it's a bad behavior and shit. But like, kids steal shit.
Yeah, and the parents look. If you're a parent, you're busy doing a lot of stuff. You're shopping, doing this stuff. Maybe the parents knew, maybe they didn't know.
It was like a bragging right. You go tell your friends, "Look what I shoplifted." Whoa!
But even so, even if the parents knew, a fucking doll is not a reason to pull a gun on somebody.
I will tell you this. I just saw, I don't know if you've said it at the beginning, but I just saw that this was in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And this is nothing new in Phoenix.
I'm not
When I
surprised.
lived in Phoenix in the late 90s and early 2000s, it was well known throughout the area that the cops were excessive with everybody, especially minorities.
Right.
It was just like a well-known part of how people did business. So this is not like a new thing over there.
In the Western United States, law enforcement is very, very harsh with that stuff. And a lot of times, too, it's because a lot of people are packing. So they overreact to everything.
Well, that's definitely the. I don't know, dude. This started with a doll.
Yeah.
Like that to me.
This one you can't even. This one, it doesn't even make any sense.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Besides, the police way overreacted, which they commonly do in this country. Look, if they had killed this family, we wouldn't. As much as we'd be outraged, would any of us be surprised if they had killed this whole family?
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
And that's the sad thing is if they took this to the extreme and killed them all, we'd go, oh well, it's the police in America.
I wonder if this article has any mention of the monetary value of this fucking doll.
I can't imagine it'd be much.
Like
$15.
Yeah, like
$20 at the max.
Is it really worth fucking?
Isn't this a knock on the window and say, the child took the doll? Can you please go inside and pay?
Why are you gonna terrorize a fucking there's a whole family there with kids and shit, and you really think that level of force is even fucking appropriate to deal with that situation?
Shouldn't the first thing be the police try is having a conversation and try to figure out what's going on?
Yeah, what
isn't that the smart thing?
What's wrong with going up to this person, like a reasonable human being, and being like, "Excuse me, ma'am, your fucking daughter stole this stuff."
The process that police should deal with things, especially crimes of this nature, which it's debatable that there was even a crime committed at this point.
Especially because who the actor of the crime is.
Right. So, but you can see that the whole fucking thing started with him pulling his gun and pointing it at the whole family. Like, what happened to cops de-escalating situations? That's direct escalation.
They directly escalate.
Not only is it escalation, but it's just escalation to you're pretty much short of killing someone. You're taking it to the point of your life is in danger now because your 4-year-old stole a doll.
Why are they so upset? Listen to me when I'm talking to you, boy. It's all like you just pulled a bunch of guns on them. You just threatened their lives. What the fuck are you talking about?
They're not exactly going to be reacting with normal fucking.
Okay, officer friendly.
Yeah, why not just walk up to their window and knock on it?
Okay,
and
so surveillance footage showed the 4-year-old girl took the doll out of the family dollar store location without it being paid for.
It was at the dollar store?
But her,
a career criminal.
Her parents told police they didn't realize she had taken the toy. The store declined to press charges as the items were recovered.
What press charges against a fucking 4-year-old or against the parents? Come on.
For a dollar store doll.
Every cop involved in this should be fucking fired immediately.
This entire department should just be fucking...
Well, this is Joe Arpaio's fucking...
well, he got voted out of office, but I'm sure...
but you have to understand, he's the one that set this fucking precedent.
Well, it's ridiculous.
And so this type of fucking escalation and shit is just par for the fucking course in that area. And it sucks.
Yeah, I wonder why people don't trust the police. Fucking example, 1 million in America.
New Jersey pupils with $75 lunch debt banned from prom and field trips.
Yeah, dude. Little punitive measure for being poor here.
Yeah, sorry you're poor. Sorry you want a fucking meal where you might not get one at home, but you know what? Don't have any fun while you're at it.
We're going to teach you for being poor. You don't get to go have fun at no dances. You don't get to go on no field trips neither till you get your money up, boy.
Tell your mom to get a third job.
Yeah. Tell your mama to quit being a loser, scumbag, poor person, and then maybe you can come to the dance with all the other students.
A U.S. school district has banned students who have more than $75 in lunch debt from attending the prom and other extracurricular activities. The school board president of Cherry Hill in New Jersey said the plan struck a balance of compassion.
A balance of compassion. Kids that can't afford to pay for their lunches can't go to the prom. Whoa! What compassion? You gotta be fucking kidding me. So the poorest kids, the ones in the most debt, the ones that can afford to pay for the least amount of their lunches, get the biggest restriction in having any kind of fun at school. Where is their compassion? Anywhere in that.
Oh, it's compassionate as fuck, Paul. You just don't see it. A businessman said he would settle the debts, but the board rejected his offer. There was literally a guy. No, there was
like,
literally.
I'll just fucking pay for it.
There was literally a rich dude who's like, "That's fucked up. I'll pay their debts," and the school board's like, "No."
What the fuck?
So it's not even about the money. It's like they just want to be punitive towards these fucking students.
Because they don't want.
Because they don't have
want
money.
A one-time payoff. They want these students to pay every time.
I guess
that's what they're going for here.
The prom ban was brought in after previous measures taken by the district were condemned as lunch shaming. What the fuck did they do before that this is their more compassionate thing?
Right.
In August, Cherry Hill had announced that students behind on payments would only be given tuna sandwiches rather than a full meal. Oh. Following a public outcry, the board withdrew the policy. This ain't much better, guys.
This is worse.
This is still shit.
This is worse.
How about this? I have an idea.
And the other
Here's
one,
my idea.
Those kids still got their fucking meal.
Here's my plan. Just forgive the fucking debt. Just forgive the debt and move on with your fucking lives.
Yeah, here's my plan. Establish a fucking educational system for public education in this country that takes into account the economic status that these fucking places are in, which this is in New York, so I'm sure slum...
New Jersey, actually.
Or Jersey, yeah. A lot of real upscale fucking economic areas in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So how about a compassion that says that people that are in those types of district across the board, they don't got to pay for their lunch. We incur that as part of the fucking business operation cost of running one of these fucking schools. And look what they're getting. Look what they're being denied. A little fucking paltry plate of chicken nuggets with a dollop of ketchup and an applesauce.
Paul, in my view, we should not penalize those people for being poor. They should have a free lunch.
All right, so here's more high school hijinks. High school cancels football season, fires every coach after suspended player suits up with a different identity.
You know what? They're 100% right. It's so rare in our society that people actually do some fucked up shit, and they're actually appropriately punished for it.
A St. Louis high school has canceled the rest of their football season and fired every coach on staff after a suspended player wore a different number and participated in a game. Cardinal Ritter College Prep was undefeated at 7-0, suspended the rest of their season after junior running back Bill Jackson was found to have played in their season opener, even though he was supposed to be serving a one-game suspension, according to St. Louis Post-Dispatch. The running back was given the suspension after being ejected from last year's title game, but the team found a way to disguise Jackson, or so they thought. Instead of his normal number 4, he wore number 24 and went under a freshman named Marvin Burks. It was Jackson's tattoos that ended up giving him away. So basically...
This was just pretty ill-conceived from the
Yeah,
start.
basically their plan was, okay, you've been suspended from this game. Rather than take that lying down, we're going to fucking just put you we're just gonna fucking give you a new identity and just send you in the game anyway. I mean,
yeah,
they got some balls. I'll give them that.
I mean, part of me thinks though that like, kind of who cares? It's a stupid, like, wouldn't this just be kind of a stupid stunt back when you were in school?
Yeah. It's kind of weird that they felt the need to cancel the whole season over it.
Seems a little bit draconian to punish the entire team because these coaches did something stupid and shady.
Well,
I think player play.
Well, I think it's probably because the fact that the coach, I mean, they can't just find a new head coach, find other coaches. I think everyone on this team participated in this lie because obviously the other players knew. Everyone kind of knew they were bullshitting. And they should have just, he had a 1-game suspension. If he had just served the suspension, there wouldn't even been an issue.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately, I mean, even though maybe some of the other kids didn't, how can you play on a team and not know that guy is not that person?
Right.
Of course, but like they're kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's like whatever.
They're gonna fuck up the whole team.
They knew the rules.
I mean,
unfortunately, that's how it goes in these things. Like, I think it's a fair punishment. I think like, look, if it don't just been something the coaches were involved in, that's one thing. But they know everyone on that plays on that team knows that's not who he is. And the other teams,
I agree that they should be punished. I just don't know. I mean, like, I think it's a little excessive, but whatever.
I mean, maybe the whole season, but they should at least have maybe a 1-game forfeit or something.
It just seems like a lot of serious business for high school football. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of rules governing this shit. And anything that gives you an unfair advantage, like, people are going to call that out.
People obviously a lot of people take fucking sports very, very seriously. I really don't, so whatever. But still thought it was an interesting story. I like the audacity of it. Public health officials confirm measles exposure at Disneyland Starbucks.
Well, a bunch of people there don't vaccinate their kids.
Yeah.
So
Another disease that just like didn't exist when I was a kid. Nobody got measles.
So public health officials are investigating a measles case involving a Los Angeles County resident that's recently visited Disneyland at a Starbucks in West L.A., according to a
Typhoid
statement.
Mary comes to the happiest place on earth.
Typhoid Mickey, dude.
Typhoid Mickey, dude. I love it.
They are urging residents to get immunization to protect their health and prevent a disease spread. The dates and locations are as follows. Yeah, okay, well, whatever. It's October 16th, and the Starbucks and.
God, you want to prevent the disease spread? Fucking mandate vaccination.
Anyone who
records.
visited those locations in those time periods could be at risk of developing measles for up to 21 days after being exposed. All children should receive 2 doses of measles immunization, obviously. So, obviously, this is the fault of the anti-vax crowd.
Of course.
Because this disease was eradicated, or damn near eradicated, and now we're having cases of it at Disneyland.
But you know what, TJ? You want to take away my individual liberty?
And, this is one of those things where a lot of the stupidity is definitely on the left-leaning end of the spectrum, sort of the hippie, all-natural bullshit sort of end of the spectrum.
Homeopathic solutions, TJ. Take more vitamin C to protect yourself against the measles.
No, it's weird because it's both. Like
But there's definitely right-wingers that are super into it, too.
Oh, yeah.
But in California, it tends to be kind of the left-wing crowd.
Hippy-dippy kind of.
But it's weird that there's this kind of stupidity. A lot of times, like, certain stupidities are located along one end of the spectrum or the other, but it's really like the fringes on both sides that are they have this distrust of vaccines. They think it causes autism. They think it causes all these, like, it's going to poison you with mercury and all this shit, and it's, like, ridiculous.
Oh, dude, they believe dude. There's a fucking laundry list of problems they have with pretty much with any modern pharmaceutical drug or vaccines. Like, most of these people, if they have a problem, even if they need to go to a doctor, they're like, okay, now how can I treat this with homeopathy or natural ways? Like, they'll want to fucking use essential oils, and they'll want to use, like, different vitamins. It's like, this is not actual treatment of what's actually ailing you. So it's the same kind of thing with this. It's like they think a vaccine is going to cause such irreparable harm to themselves or their child that they believe basically exposure to it is better.
Yeah, and then they get fucking measles.
And they spread it to other people, and they go, "Oh, it's not my fault. Don't vaccinate my kid."
They take it to fucking Disneyland,
and they fucking like they're causing the herd immunity to be weakened with their fucking little stupid pointless stand on this shit.
Which So I mean,
like
there's no scientific basis for their stand either, and they acknowledge that in some ways, but then they go, "Nope, it's all just a fucking charade."
I mean,
put
like
on
at
by
some
these
point,
companies.
Like the fact that this affects herd immunity to me kind of makes it like not a freedom issue anymore. It's like at that point, it's like saying they have the right to burn down your house or something.
Dude,
I mean, fuck that. These people, it should be mandated that these motherfuckers get vaccinated. I don't care about their stupid objections. We know scientifically that it's all bullshit. I don't think they have the freedom to endanger us all. Fuck that.
There was no need for like draconian laws and stuff back. My mom made sure we were vaccinated.
Yeah, because people didn't used to be fucking completely stupid about this.
Here's why, though. She came from a fucking era where people still got mumps and measles and shit. And she herself almost died of mumps when she was a kid.
Not shocking.
So it's like they saw it firsthand. They experienced firsthand the destructiveness of these diseases. And now we're 2 or 3 generations beyond that.
No, man, it's good.
Where people have just kind of undercut the seriousness of these diseases because they've never had to directly deal with them ever.
Right. So people they've been spoiled by the benefits of vaccination to the point where they just think, oh, well, why is it even worth it to do this?
And people think this is like, oh, this happened a long time ago. Dude, Taylor's grandmother has polio.
Right.
And to think that this shit all can't come back and won't come back, this just shows you how naive these people are. And if you look at these areas where they're clustered, that's where all the diseases are coming back. Oh my God! I wonder what it could be. What could be the one integral thing they're not doing?
This is an example of it escaping even that fucking kind of clustered area where people are.
It's going to.
Like a central hub of the world, and there's measles walking around in it.
Yeah, measles at Disneyland.
If you go to L.A., you would have potential exposure to this disease.
That's outbreak central right there. I mean,
it's the look at it. It's ass to
Washington
ass
State as well. Washington State and the Washington State Portland border, all hotbeds of this.
Ugh. Federal judge refuses to toss out Chicago's lawsuit against Jesse Smollett.
Jesse Smollett.
A federal judge has denied a request from former Empire star Jesse Smollett to dismiss the city of Chicago's lawsuit against him, meaning the city may proceed with its push to reclaim the $130,000 it says the police department spent investigating the actor's allegedly false claims. No, they're not allegedly false.
Yeah, no.
They're demonstrably
provably false.
In a brief hearing Tuesday morning, sorry, Paul, you were saying something?
See, the sad thing about this is that this is all ego for him now. It's $130. Or $130,000.
Which
this
to him might as well
that,
be
$130.
$130.
Oh, I can guarantee you that a lot of the people that jump to his defense, a lot of the fucking popular black leaders that jump to his defense would probably fucking write a check for it. He doesn't want that money to be paid because he wants to be able to simultaneously die on this hill that 2 white supremacists did this while all the evidence in the world suggests that he fucking made it up without going to trial for it. I don't understand why we don't just put this guy in front of a jury of their peers, let his defense present the evidence that Billy Bob and Joe Bob, the MAGA guys, brought a fucking noose out in the middle of fucking Chicago and
2 a.m.
2 a.m. in minus 20-degree weather to lynch Jussie Smollett. Or the 2 fucking African natives that they have in custody that have admitted to being involved in the conspiracy. Come on. Give him his day in court. And I tell you what, dude, if he's got a good... It's a shame Johnny Cochran's not around. He could come up with an aphorism immediately that would win him this.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I can't do it. I'm not Johnny
You're not
Cochran.
Johnny Cochran.
I mean, yeah. Look, I'm not expecting you to pull a Johnny Cochran aphorism out of your ass.
Some version of the glove don't fit. He'd immediately have it.
So, Wired, screen time linked to greater caffeine and sugar consumption among teens.
Both things that I'm sure lead to really well-adjusted teens getting enough sleep, paying enough attention to their studies and all of that.
Oh, yeah. You'd be hard-pressed to find a teenager these days without a smartphone or tablet by their side at all hours of the day. Electronic devices are a seemingly unavoidable fact of life in modern society, especially for young people who have never known a world without iPhones and the like. Simultaneously, many adolescents are consuming far more than the recommended amounts of caffeine and sugar each day.
You don't say.
Interestingly, researchers from McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, say these 2 trends are connected. Teens who spend more time watching TV and browsing the web are also very likely to consume excessive amounts of sugared or caffeinated drinks. You know, I can tell you right now that I watch a lot of TV and spend a lot of time looking at screens, and I consume a lot of fucking caffeine and sugar. So I'm not a teenager, but
I think
my anecdotal fucking support for that
I think these
thesis.
numbers probably continue across the board into adulthood. I may be wrong about that, but I have a feeling that society as a whole is consuming more sugar and caffeine.
Oh, for sure.
There is a trend towards reduced energy drink and soda consumption between 2013 and 2016, which is our latest data, but greater electronic device use, particularly TVs, linked to more consumption of added sugar and caffeine among adolescents, explains study leader and pediatrician Dr. Catherine Morrison in a release.
So,
addressing this through counseling or health promotion could potentially help.
Yeah. So I've heard a little bit of the studies that have been done on caffeine consumption and screen use. And I'm not 100% sure that they could be linked scientifically at this point because, you know, kids were drinking a lot of fucking Red Bulls and shit before the iPad and shit became standard.
Right. And but I do think that, you know, like, obviously before these kind of screens, kids were parked in front of the TV set. I was a fucking
Playing
kid
video
that was
games.
raised by the TV and the Nintendo and
Of course.
shit. So, you know, and, you know, when your hobby is kind of a hobby where you just sit in place.
Well, see, the fucked up thing...
It's easier to just kind of idly consume as you're doing it.
One of the things that people don't talk about is that the jury is not out on TV consumption. There have been long-term studies now on hyperexposure to TV, and what you see is a greater incidence of mental instability, depression, anxiety, suicidal tendencies. All of those things are linked in studies to increased TV use. But these new screen devices are being treated like they're something that's inherently different. I don't really think that they are, and in fact, I think that they are at times more engaging than TV was back when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, well, because you can interact with it more directly.
Because you have total control over what's going on at every time, and if you're bored, there's a billion other things that you can immediately click on and just, you know, like that was unknown to me as a kid.
And there's algorithms.
I had my little pile of Nintendo games, and if I was bored with those, I had whatever was playing on broadcast TV.
I mean, I remember
if I was bored with that, I had to go outside.
I remember being a kid and like just idly like there was a point in time when before you had all this choice where it was just like, oh well, what's on right now? It's a bunch of daytime shit.
This
I
sucks.
guess I'll watch fucking Ricky Lake, even though I'm fucking, you know.
And in my teen
Or
years,
you said this sucked and you walked away.
in my teen years, cable became really prevalent.
I just
for
watched
people.
Ricky Lake.
Well, you're a fat ass.
When I became a teenager, cable TV became really prevalent. With most people had a cable hookup in their house. You know, it became kind of a widespread thing, and that gave you more choice. But it still limited that choice within the confines of, you know, however many channels you had. And it still, you know, was routinely boring to me as a kid, and I would go find something else to do.
But also, did it have sophisticated algorithms to push new and different
absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've made these apps that people use so addictive that people don't realize, like, oh, I'll just be on it for a few minutes. Then 2 hours has gone by. Like, oh, I was on my phone for...
So...
If you look at most people's screen time, dude... It's through the roof, and they have no idea. They're not even conscious of that fact. People underreport their screen time.
Massively underreport it. Like if you ask a person to just estimate how much time they spend looking at their phone every day, like most regular cell phone users, they absolutely underreport almost every time.
Categorically.
Look at TJ. Dude, I bet TJ's is fucking staggering. I bet the amount of time TJ spends looking at that phone would gag a maggot, dude.
I've looked at TJ's stuff before because we're on Verizon. He doesn't spend much time watching videos, but he spends a ton of time on social media.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. How do you do it? How do you fortify your mind against that onslaught of constant crybabyism and stupidity?
I guess I just embrace it.
I just dip my toe in it every once in a while and go,
Honestly, if you want to know...
He's part of the crybaby stupidity.
As much as I do spend a lot of time staring at this screen, for sure, but the screen in my living room is really the one that you would be shocked.
I mean, that backs up that study that you just showed where they said mostly TV.
Because, like, man, I will get lost in that. I mean, like...
But your TV has become that. Your TV is just basically an extension of the, you know, entertainment platform that you could get on this.
Definitely.
But just on a bigger screen.
That's why I don't really watch videos on my phone, because I'd rather just watch it on the TV with the big screen and shit.
Now, I actually have started using my phone way fucking more in the last year and a half, and I find I watch a lot of videos on it. Yeah. I like to be able to just kind of like sit on the couch or sit on my porch and watch a video.
Yeah, I really don't care for it I like watching stuff on the TV still. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten into the whole surfing YouTube and that type of shit on the TV. I can't do it.
Well, because of the predictive nature of it, eventually it starts to kind of cultivate content that it's actually pretty good at it. It's a lot better than Netflix is at it, honestly.
I spend a lot of time scrolling through Netflix and Prime and all of those.
Netflix, after all the fucking years I've been watching shit on Netflix, it still recommends to me shit that I just flat out know I don't want.
Yeah. Neither Netflix nor Prime is really good at giving you like actual relevant fucking,
Not
suggestions.
Yet. Anyway. Quantum leap in computing as Google claims supremacy.
Oh, shit. They're about to get
Google
better at it.
supremacy? Oh, no.
Paris. Scientists claimed Wednesday to have achieved a near mythical state of computing in which a new generation of machine vastly outperforms the world's fastest supercomputer, known as quantum supremacy.
Oh, shit, dude. The AI revolution has begun.
A team of experts working on Google's Sycamore machines said their quantum system had executed a calculation in 200 seconds that would have taken a classic computer 10,000 years to complete. A rival team at IBM has already expressed skepticism about their claim, but if verified and harnessed, the Google device could make even the world's most powerful supercomputers capable of performing thousands of trillions of calculations per second look like an early 2000s flip phone.
That's actually a massive understatement.
Yeah.
Quantum computing is going to absolutely fundamentally change the landscape.
It's going to make it look like a fucking abacus, basically.
Well, dude,
yeah. It's going to be the difference between now and the pre-internet world in terms of like the different, and probably even bigger than that, honestly.
The amount of diseases and drugs you'll be able to create would be staggering.
Oh my god, it has implications in literally every type of fucking industry.
People don't realize that, but like when you're researching, like let's say a drug or something, you have to run all these simulations. Like, what is this protein going to do? And right now they go to a supercomputer, like they talked about. You get time on it. And
think about the graphics processing power. Think about the ability to create worlds that look literally photorealistic, that are completely and utterly indistinguishable from reality, and abilities
100%.
to interface that with the human brain
So
in ways that you experience those things. We're talking about the holodeck.
Right, this is a pretty cool explanation of this. Regular computers, even the fastest, function in a binary fashion. They can carry out tasks using tiny fragments of data known as bits that are only ever either 1 or 0. But fragments of data on a quantum computer known as qubits can be both 1 and 0 at the same time. This property, known as superposition, means a quantum computer made of several qubits can crunch an enormous number of potential outcomes simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, if you're familiar with like quantum physics in general, you kind of, already have heard probably about superpositions and, particles that exist in multiple states or exist everywhere at once and all this shit. Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like,
well,
if this claim is true, then obviously we're on the cusp of another huge revolution in computing that the results of which I don't even think we can begin to imagine.
I mean,
will completely reshape the world.
The AI implications are fucking. The robot industry is going to completely explode. We're talking about like a complete remaking of humanity if this is, the case, which, it's happened before. We've had these kind of giant booms of technology.
Industrial revolution, the fucking first tech revolution.
Not this type of technology, though.
Right.
That has that doesn't just implicate 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 key industries, but literally every way of life that you can think of is going to be directly impacted by this. And I don't know, dude. There's a lot of negative implications to it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the surveillance state is going to get all that much more,
Oh, yeah, it's going to be no problem. Because, like, one of the things that, you've kind of thought of in the past is like, well, there's so much surveillance that they have to do that it's like, whatever,
Right.
They can't possibly handle the amount of data they're collecting. But this kind of technology makes it like, some supercomputer somewhere knows what everyone's doing every minute of every day.
Paul said, let the nukes fly.
It's
Paul's
basically
not
like
enemy of the state.
I mean, like, we're kind of like just lurching towards inventing God. So whoever controls this technology is going to have insane power. And if it's Google, that's not good news.
I have a sudden urge to buy Nikes. You know what I mean?
YouTuber PewDiePie banned in China for poo jokes about President Z.
Dude.
Poo-poo on him.
I love that President Z is so heavily triggered by comparison to Winnie the Pooh that you know, like I think we should get banned in China. I think we should make some poo jokes.
Yeah, we should get on it for sure.
Make some poo memes.
Should we have like an art contest or something?
Yeah, let's have an art contest.
Dude, let's do DFF, and one half of it is Winnie the Pooh, and the other half is Xi Jinping.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Winnie the Pooh / Xi Jinping equals DFF, and then we'll just use a picture of him as Winnie the Pooh as the thumbnail. I want to get banned in fucking China.
But you know what,
dude.
Paul? I think we need some art done for it too. Don't you think so, TJ?
I do.
So we have art to show it throughout the episode.
That big goofy fuck does look like Winnie the Pooh too.
He does.
That's why he's fucking triggered by it. His big ass looks like Winnie the Pooh, even without all the memes and the fucking, photoshops and shit.
Xi Ping Pooh.
He just kind of looks like Winnie the Pooh. And rather than embracing it, he gets super triggered by it. And I like that. I like the exploitability of that.
Let's judge.
Dude, look at him. He does kind of look like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see it in the eyebrows.
dude, who wouldn't want to be compared to Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that much of an insult.
He's
man.
like he's a gem, dude. He's a classic character. He's a lovable little guy. He likes honey. I mean, look how sweet he looks.
He does.
Oh, I mean, look, the president of China does look pretty sweet. Look at that.
He looks like he needs to take a honey nap.
Oh, goodness.
I'm sure Barack Obama is banning anybody that compares him to Tigger.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about what Tigger rhymes with.
Oh, TJ, why does your mind always go there?
I think it's pretty offensive. I'm just saying, I think it's pretty offensive that they would compare him to Tigger like that.
Xi the Pooh. Man, I love that he's fucking looking at all these and getting madder and madder by the second.
Oh!
You know who's pretty, you got to honestly give him credit?
Who's
Trump is portrayed in so many unflattering ways, and he manages to stay pretty untriggered by that. Like I haven't seen him like reposting like horrible caricatures of him in a diaper, shitting his pants. You know what I mean?
And being like, "How dare you portray me in this fashion?"
Well, that's what Trump obviously believes in. There's no such thing as bad publicity. It's like as long as they're talking about Trump, and his name's coming out of their mouth, he doesn't give a shit how he's portrayed.
The Winnie the Pooh comparison is cute,
right?
Like Trump is made to look like a fucking glowering, monster, mongoloid child. Like I've just seen him like literally debased in every way a human being can be debased. People fucking him up the ass, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like Putin fucking him up the ass, Mitch McConnell fucking him up the ass. I've literally seen Trump fucked up the ass by at least 24 notable figures, and that's just one area of how Trump is memed. You know what I mean? And I've never once seen him retweet one of those and be like, "This is disgusting, debasing of the presidential." He doesn't even mention it.
He's just
cool about it.
We just need to cut that Paul thing out of context. That's one of the best things I've ever heard you say.
Dude,
I've seen 24 people fucking President Trump.
Yeah,
just cut that out of context. Just we'll post that on the channel. Like,
you probably have too. I know TJ has.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, I've seen every.
If you're on social media, you've seen Trump fucked up the ass.
Oh yeah, dude. Trump definitely
by a fucking whole roster of notable politicians and actors and actresses.
Have you seen Trump fucked up the ass by Winnie the Pooh though?
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
I think there is because they're saying he's doing Xi Jinping's bidding.
Well,
or
they say that about
fuck,
everything with Trump. I mean, Trump's everyone's fucking puppet.
I'm sure there's a picture of him being domed by President Xi.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a bother.
Anyway, scariest haunted house in U.S. requires 40-page waiver. Doctor's note, safe word.
Cool.
Wow. There used to be a place like that around here that was pretty hardcore called the House of Shock, but I guess it shut down recently and was replaced by a way more PG sort of crappy haunted house.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking lame.
Yeah, then now it's like New Orleans Spooktacular or some garbage like that.
It's called the Mortuary.
No.
That's not it?
No, it's like Haunted New Orleans or some real generic sounding name.
Well, there's another one I think it's a little bit more hardcore that still exists around here.
Oh. Well, I'm just saying the House of Shock is dead.
Yeah, I know the House of Shock is gone.
And now that's like some other crap.
I went there a couple times. That place was pretty fucking awesome.
But let's see about this. You really don't want to do this. This is what every person must utter after failing to complete a tour of McCamey Manor. Russ McCamey owns and operates the most terrifying haunted house experience in America, one you're not allowed to attend until you watch a 2-hour-long video, sign a 40-page waiver, create a safe word, pass a physical, and more.
Jesus. What the fuck?
Featured on Netflix's Haunters, Art of the Scare, and on an episode of Dark Tourist, McCamey Manor is a see-to-believe type of attraction. The Summertown, Tennessee horror house is so extreme, no one has ever successfully completed the experience.
Damn.
And yet, Russ says his new haunted show, Desolation, is his most extreme haunt yet. This is obviously an advertisement for this thing, by the way, but it's still, I mean, I'm pretty compelled by it. Nobody's
just sounds
even
like
made
a fucking big advertisement for McCamey Manor to get people to show up.
I just said that. Nobody's even made it to the starting clock with this new show. Blah 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 blah. So what the fuck do they do to them? I want to know what the fuck they do to these people in this fucking house.
I don't know, dude.
Blah 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 blah.
They kidnap your mom.
When it comes to the actual tour, Russ has a list of warnings must follow. Warning: intense audio, lighting, extreme low visibility, strobe and fog effects, damp and wet conditions, physically demanding environments, close contact with creatures you might be touched, very real and graphic scenes of horror. These are the rules. No smoking. All right, I'm out. Drinking, eating, running inside, touching props and or actors. McCamey Manor reserves the right to refuse admission to anyone for any reason. The guest voluntarily assumes all risks/dangers associated with participation in this event.
But there's 40 other pages. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty easily spooked, so I probably, would get pretty scared by this. But I don't know if this is just, this got to be just hype, dude.
I mean, it's good hype.
I mean, how much can you do to me, really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, what can you do?
Can we play some of the videos? Maybe we'll see something they're doing at this.
Okay.
I mean, cause I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Let's see.
I know they can do some scary ass shit.
Okay.
I just mean like what? I mean, is it just so scary that people just can't handle it?
Is this from the house?
I mean, this all
so
just
you got
looks
green
like
people. I mean, like, I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I ain't seeing nothing super extreme.
I mean, this looks dorky as fuck. I don't know, man.
Let's see. What's this? Is this even a video? Doesn't seem to want to play. Oh well. I don't know.
Sounds like a lot of hype. I mean,
more
maybe
like
it's
McLamey Manor, dude.
McLamey.
I mean, maybe it's really fucking scary. I don't know.
Dudes in cheap masks jump out at you.
Boogly boogly boo.
You got to climb over a thing.
Just keep repeating to yourself, it's only a haunted house. Cops. Man had sex with stuffed animals at Target.
Oh.
Assault victims include Olaf from animated Disney movie Frozen.
God damn, dude. Why Olaf,
He
though?
fucking pounded Olaf's ass.
Holy shit.
God, Olaf, yeah. Oh, I loved you.
He's like the least fuckable character. That's the whole thing.
Dude, he was just
Not
singing,
to this guy.
Let me blow, let me blow.
A Florida man yesterday, of course, sexually assaulted. I didn't even pull this from like a Florida man thing or anything. I just love it. But I mean, wow, you knew it was going to be a fucking Florida man. He assaulted a pair. I don't know that assaulted is the word.
Assaulted?
I mean, it's still it's an inanimate object,
right.
So I don't know if assault is really the term.
Public indecency or public exposure.
I don't think
or
this
something?
falls under the purview of assault.
I mean, did he cut a hole in the thing, or I mean, how did he
I don't
do
know.
it?
Let's find out. Inside a Target store, according to police who arrested the fiend on a criminal mischief charge. As detained in a criminal complaint, Cody Christopher Meter, 20, entered the retailer around 2 p.m. Tuesday and approached a display of merchandise featuring characters from Disney film Frozen.
Yeah, he'd been he needed to. He's what?
Whoa!
I don't even know, dude.
Wait, hold on.
Read this.
Meter, seen at right, selected a large Olaf stuffed animal.
So he likes him big.
Proceeded to place it on the floor of the Target in Pinellas Park. He then began to dry hump the item until he ejaculated on the merchandise.
He busted a nut on Olaf, dude.
He ejaculated on the merchandise.
Dude, he busted a nut on Oh man, poor Olaf, dude.
Meter returned the soiled Olaf back to the display before entering the toy department, where he selected a large unicorn stuffed animal and began to dry hump this item.
Whoa.
After consorting with the stuffed animals, Meter, who lives in St. Petersburg, was detained while still inside the store. After being read his rights, Meter reportedly admitted to doing stupid stuff and admitted he had nutted on the Olaf stuffed animal.
He nutted on Olaf, dude.
The stuffed items, cops said, were removed from the store floor and destroyed.
Thank you.
According to the complaint, Meter's father told police that Def has a history of this type of behavior. Court records, however, list no prior criminal cases against Meter.
Oh my God, dude! Oh,
all right, so I know what to name this.
The world is coming apart.
TJ, I know what to name this clip already, dude.
Blowloff?
Yeah, no, nutted on Olaf.
He nutted on Olaf. Yeah, I did some stupid stuff.
Dude, I had to nut on Olaf.
I nutted on Olaf.
In all
what
fairness,
a life, dude.
Olaf,
what a life.
Olaf is a pretty annoying character. So.
What a fucking life, dude. What is your claim to fame? I nutted on Olaf one time.
Doomsday plane designed to survive nuclear war, downed by one bird.
I guess. Hey, you know what? Maybe it would survive the nukes, though, man.
The Navy's Doomsday plane meant to survive a nuclear attack was taken down by just a single bird earlier this month. The E-6B Mercury suffered millions of dollars of damage after a bird was sucked into one of the aircraft's four engines while doing a touch-and-go maneuver, Military.com reports. The plane was attempting to land and immediately take off again from Patuxent River Naval Air Station in Maryland on October 2nd. So, obviously, it's just kind of, it's funny, you know? This is supposed to be some kind of...
It's nuke-proof, but it didn't say it was bird-proof.
Never claimed to be a bird-proof plane.
There you go.
Like, this whole bird strike going into the engine thing has been a problem since the jet engine was a problem, and we haven't come up with a way to make that not possible yet.
No, I guess not.
Can't you put, like, some, get the whatever the hardest shit is, adamantium, take it right out of fucking Wolverine's skeleton and make, like, a net. You know what I mean? That goes in front.
Adamantium net in front, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You know, so a bird just kind of hit it and bounce off or whatever the fuck. It won't get sucked into the goddamn engine.
Yeah, I think that the suction power is such that it would just sluice the bird through the net.
Yeah.
And still gunk up the engine.
What the fuck, man?
Scrape the bird out of the engine.
Michael Moore. Whites vote for Trump because they are afraid of losing power to minorities. This is from Breitbart and InfoWars.
Best news shot there is.
So I decided to pull this simply because I love the comment section so much. So first comment. This screwball is not even an American, so why you even printing his BS?
Very good.
Space, question mark, question
Very
mark,
good
question mark.
question, Village Idiot 2821.
Is he not American? I'm pretty sure
he was born in
Michael
Michigan.
Moore is American.
My hometown of Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, he is born in America.
Anyway,
delivers his milk.
Coming from a guy that bought 10 houses and hates America. Okay.
I don't think he hates America, but that's all right.
Leave it to a liberal to turn anything and everything into something that has racism in its basis. Yeah, where would he get that idea? Except for this comment under, like, and why is that a bad thing? Do you think Chinese people would love to become a minority in their own country? Arabs, Indians? No group on earth wants to lose power.
So
wait. So
there's a lot of dissent
this guy
going
here
on.
is
So
like
electrical power.
only a liberal would believe that there's this racism going on, and then underneath there's this racism going on.
Right.
And it's kind of like goes back and forth like that. There's just like tons of comments where it's like these liberals are lying about us, and then there's other people who are just like, he's so what? That's how we should think. And then there's this guy. Then why are blacks, Mexicans, and Asians voting for Trump? Huh?
Because the Dem candidates are losers.
I'm pretty sure blacks really are not voting for Trump.
Hang all texting driver's rights. Of course, non-whites. Of course, whites fear losing power to non-whites. We don't want America to become like Africa or Honduras.
Finally.
Dude, there was a good one. Can you go up?
Yeah.
There was this guy a little bit further.
Okay.
Here it is, dude. No, one more, actually. This is electrical power grid. You are awake. If our grandfathers and great-grandfathers came down to Earth and asked what happened, I would genuinely tell them it all started with females being allowed to vote, then females in governance, then socialism welfare explosion, cities, municipalities, state, federal. Then it moved from females in governance empowerment to white men everywhere being disarmed, UK, Canada, France, Germany, Sweden, Australia, everywhere. It then moved to blitzkrieg, racial, African invasion, acclamation, balkanization, and at the same time, LGBT epidemic, total and complete Western culture collapse in every Western country at the same time. Mathematics of cultural destruction, and China's building up fast. TikTok.
Wow.
Well, he's got it figured out. Man.
Dude,
He's got it mapped.
Electrical power grid.
That's
figured out what's going on.
You know what really strikes me about that comment? How it's not at all disjointed, but it's actually just like perfectly rational throughout and carefully lays a well thought out, intelligent case.
Yes.
You know?
He actually has a solution, though, in a later comment. Only war in America can mathematically stop them. War in America will trigger war in Canada, UK, France, Germany, which is required to mathematically stop
So
them.
this is another one of these Civil War guys.
Yeah, like we have to, so basically
But he's pro Civil War. He's like, we got to do it.
Well, he's saying it's the only way to solve the problem.
The only way to fix this is war.
Look, the only way to solve the minority he's like Charles Manson, dude, a war between the whites and the blacks.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, if
race war.
He's talking about a war against gay people too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everyone that's, I guess, not a
Gays,
white Protestant or something.
Whites, blacks, and any white that would not participate in his side of things needs to be kind of cleansed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love the day that this guy is the next fucking big shooter or something. The revolution will begin. Yeah.
Save us from China, who will destroy us.
Something tells me that this guy is way better at sitting behind his keyboard and typing this disjointed nonsense than he would be as a fucking leader of some kind of separatist movement.
How can you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know about that, Paul. I don't know about that.
I get a feeling.
No. I think this
You
guy's
just want
legit.
the minorities to have all the power, Paul. Just admit it now.
Okay, well, that's our show today. Thank you for watching. It's been real. It's been nice, but it ain't been real nice.
Damn.
Fare thee well.